Fuel filter change on a 7.3 Powerstroke. This is going to be on an old body style, 94.5 to 97. It's very, very similar on the Super Duty 7.3s. So, what do you need? You need a fuel filter, obviously. Piece of tube to attach your drain line, and a receptacle to catch the fuel out of the bottom of the bowl. This is the factory style fuel filter cap, so you need a pry bar or something to open that up. Sometimes you'll see this, which I believe is an aftermarket one, which is kind of a pain in the ass. And then there are also square drive. Actually, the square drive might be factory. This is aftermarket. I don't know. So depending on what kind of cap you have, that'll determine the tool you need. So this little yellow tab, that's the drain valve. It's in the closed position when it's facing towards the front of the truck. You swing it 90 to open it. But before we do that, let's attach a hose so it doesn't leak all over the front axle. Alright, so now we're under the truck. This is the passenger side leaf spring. This is the oil pan over here. And you're looking up and you're going to see battery feed to the starter, and up behind it, it's really hard to see. Let's see if I can do anything. This line coming down, that's the drain line, and it ends, on my truck, it ends right behind this grounding point, which is kind of inconvenient, but we're going to slip a hose on there. Alright, maybe now you can see better with the green hose connected onto it. Got our hose coming down and going into a bucket. Oh, let's drain it. So you might be able to hear the fuel leaking out now. These little valves have O-rings in them. Tiny little O-rings, and sometimes they go bad. So if you get unlucky, you know, you'll drain it, and you'll do your fuel filter and everything, and then you go to start it back up and you'll have a leak, which really sucks. But I believe they are standard size O-rings, so any O-ring kit, you can get them, or, you know, buy from Ford or International, whoever. Now, you can crack the lid, and be careful because this is your glow plug relay right there, and that's hot, so you don't want to hit it with anything. It's probably a good idea to disconnect your batteries, but I'm not going to do that. And then once you crack that loose, it'll break the vacuum and it'll drain out pretty quickly. Wow. That's pretty damn clean. I don't remember when I last did this, but it was at least 5,000 miles ago. Just let that drain for a bit. So this is inside the bowl. Yours may look a little bit different because on this plate down here there is supposed to be a fuel heater, but it's a really bad design, and pretty much any truck out there will have it taken out because it disintegrates basically. Anyway, below that there may be a bunch of crud. You can't see because I don't have enough light shining down there, but mine is all clean. But the very first time I did a fuel filter, when I first bought this truck used, there was a lot of crud down there, and I spent a good while cleaning it all out. You can take this standpipe out with a crow's foot, and I believe it is left-hand thread, and then you can clean it out underneath there, but I'm good to go. So if you bought one of those filters that has the cap permanently attached, then you don't need to do this step. But if you have just the element, you'll notice there's a tab there, and 180 degrees out, there's another tab. Alright, so apparently this was one that has the cap attached to it. That's why there's nothing, that's not really a tab, but that's where it would be. Here is what the factory style cap looks like. So I gotta clean that up a bit. Don't forget the new gasket. You'll notice that the bevel goes up. Very important. It's a good idea to lubricate it with a little bit of clean diesel or whatever you got. Then you screw it down and you just kind of snug it up. You shouldn't even really need a wrench, but I like to go a little bit more. Then you close your drain valve. Alright, so the fuel filter's in, the lid is secure, the valve is closed, so all that's left to do now is start the truck up and check for leaks. You don't need to pre-fill the filter. In fact, it's recommended that you don't. The fuel in the lines will be enough, in my experience, it'll always start on the first try. You might notice a hiccup or two as it works the air through there, but that's about it. Crank it, start it, check for leaks, and you're good to go. I'll call that good, but I'll probably check on it a few more times as I start running it again.